I'm going to talk to you a little bit now about goal setting, because it's very, we all set goals, and within this society, that's a very big thing, is goal setting. And goal setting is fine, but the problem is when we start to dwell on our goals and they start to consume us. And that actually feeds into a little bit of what Dr. Puffett talked about earlier, I'll be happy when. So if that's what you're thinking, I'll be happy when I get this goal, you're just constantly dwelling on that, that becomes a problem. Because if you don't meet that goal at that expected time, you're upset. Or you're constantly thinking, I'll be happy when, so I can't be happy now. I can't be happy until I have this thing. Constantly imagining what life will be like when, and guess what? You're missing the present moment. And the present moment is a gift. That's why they call it a present. So, a great example of this, one example I like to talk about is the example of finding a mate. Sometimes people can be consumed by this. They become depressed with the fact that they don't have a mate, they don't have a significant other. So let's say, for example, this person goes out to dinner with friends. Maybe they have a great couple of friends that they go out with, and they're at dinner with them having a great time, and they glance over, and they see this couple having a romantic dinner. Now, if you are set completely on this goal of having a couple, what do you think is going to happen to that person who looks over at that other couple? They might be having a good time, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, this is horrible, I'm never going to find a mate, I'm going to be here alone forever. I mean, their mind can just go and go and go and go. I'm going to be alone with 20 cats by, the time I'm, in my 70s or something, whatever they might think, You're laughing because it's true, people think that. But what they're missing is that the great time with their friends, they're missing good company, perhaps an excellent dinner that they're missing, all of that for that. So really what we're trying to say is, instead of focusing on what you don't have, let go of the thought and immerse yourself in what you have at that present moment, because there's so much beauty that's being missed at that very present moment. So the next thing is that the fact that bad things happen to good people, bad things happen to everybody, right? So what do we do when that happens? Living in this world full of tragedies, there's wars going on, now everybody's, money is a huge thing right now. People are losing money, banks are, closing, all kinds of stuff is going on. So or even the thing with the train where all those people were injured and some people were killed, it's very tragic. And we read that stuff and it upsets us. And, we're not asking you to shut that out of your mind and don't ever think about that, because it is upsetting. But what you can do is find out what you can do to make a difference. If you can donate money to help people, if you can volunteer your time, if you can do anything, think about how much greater that will make you feel. You're actually making an effort. The thing is, once you've done that, you have to close that chapter. You can't keep perseverating and thinking about the same thing. You've done what you can. That's what you do, and then you move on. You can't worry about it, because worrying about it won't change. Well, you worrying about what's going on in a faraway country, or even in this country, in another city, is that going to change anything? No. It might create disease within you, it might create stress within you, it might create problems, but it's not going to change the outcome of whatever's going on in the world, or even in your city. Okay, physical suffering. And we all experience physical suffering in one form or another. But the thing is sometimes we have to really accept what is. And when we don't accept what is, sometimes that can create problems. For example, I have struggled with back pain. I'm young, but I've had some serious back injuries before. When I didn't accept what is, I was depressed, I was sad about that fact. And whenever I started feeling better, guess what? I started picking up heavy things and doing all that stuff because I didn't accept that, this is a weakness that I have, and I have to take care of that. I don't have to dwell on it, but I have to accept it, do what I can, do my exercises. If you have some other illness, you go to the doctor, you do whatever you can to get better, but you move on. You don't perseverate on it, because you can become totally depressed about something. If you have an illness, if you have a weakness, it can consume you. You do what you can to get better, get all the help you can, and then you move on. You go through life and you experience the now, you experience the wonderful things, do what you can with the abilities that you have. The thing is, you get what you focus on as well. If you're constantly focusing on the pain, if you're constantly focusing on the illness, guess what? You're going to have more of that, because that's what you're going to experience. And the truth of the matter is there's nothing that we can't handle one moment at a time. A great example is childbirth. It's pretty painful. There's a lot of women in here, right? It's a pretty painful experience, but you get through it. So much so that women have more children even after that first one, Something to think about that there. So the thing is look around to see if there isn't something beautiful to be with. With childbirth, you have a beautiful child to have right there afterwards. But in life, there's a lot of things. There's so many gifts there with us, whether it's a beautiful song or just nature. I was walking the other day, and you know those flowers, those morning glory flowers, those purple ones. I mean, I was just like standing there staring at these flowers, going, "Oh my gosh, they're magnificent. They're beautiful." And I just look at that, and what a gift, you know. And if we're so in our head, we miss things like that. We absolutely miss things like that. A great story is of a Tibetan monk who was in a Chinese prison for 10 years. He was in a damp, cold cell, confined, you know, by himself in a cell. And when he finally was released 10 years later, he saw his fellow monks and he said, "I finally got it. I finally realized how beautiful cockroaches are." There's even beauty there. And, you know, it's something to think about. Why can't we focus on the beauty all the time? You know, I guess if you're in a cave somewhere and that's all you have, you're going to figure out the beauty of it. You're going to be scared maybe at first, at least I know I would, but eventually that's your only friend, you know? So basically what we've been talking to you today is about living in the now, in this thoughtless, peaceful state. It's always available, always loving, always inviting you to just be with it. And you don't have to wait to have a good life. You can have a good life now. Each and every person in this room can have a good life now. You just have to learn how to be and to be present. In closing, I want to talk to you a little bit about some of the stuff that we have available out here. In that room over here, we've got a table set up with a lot of CDs. We've created podcasts which are available for free. You can go to iTunes and download them, and also our website. And all of our business cards are out there that have all that information there as well. We do have CDs because CDs are a lot of times more convenient, and we offer them to you. If you don't have money for a donation, please go ahead and feel free to take them. And otherwise, we do accept donations. You don't have to do that, but we are very much grateful for that because it helps us to be able to continue to print them and also to be able to offer talks for free or low cost. She talked about the Raising Healthy Children and Teens. That's something that we're actually putting on a podcast right now, so that will be available. So please check out our website, and that will be up actually quite shortly. And we've also got a new one, Creating and Maintaining a Healthy Living Environment. I think it's something that we could all kind of pay attention to. It's really important because all the stuff that goes on in our world around us, and our, you know, from work to our experiences with friends and family members, and what we watch on TV and music, that all affects us. You know, talk about being present. If you're listening to violence or negativity, that's going to affect you if that's what you're focusing on. So I want to thank you very much today for coming and listening to us speak. And thank you. And I don't know if Dr. Pep wants to say anything. No? All right. Well, thank you very much.